can just imagine there's some people who are going to be checking out the title of this episode and think, oh, that's such a great title for an episode of The Flash. That sounds really, really great. Me, however, and if I'm right, I'm worried because I believe this is the title of the comic that Barry died in. So yeah, and especially with what last week entailed, the last scene of last week's episode had with the Monitor saying, so yeah, Barry, you're dead in a few months. Yeah, I have a feeling we'll be focusing a bit towards Crisis as Barry tries to find a way to... I mean, even though he's told that the Flash has to die for billions to live, there's always that case where especially when a team member is prophesized to die, like Iris in season 3, there's always an opportunity for this for someone to try and change what is written. So I'm worried. I am worried with how Crisis centric this episode is going to be, but we'll have to wait and see how damaging that is. But yeah, hello everyone, Liam Catterson here. This is A Flash of the Lightning. Episode number 2 of season 6. Last week was phenomenal. It was probably... What's funny is I think Arrow and The Flash, because I've just watched Arrow, they both have had probably the best openers to their season. Season 8 of Arrow's was probably the best opener of all time, whereas season 6 was one of the best, like, maybe since season 2. It was just phenomenal, and a lot of people were up in arms about the opener to last week's Flash episode, which is really, really great to see, especially with how bizarre it went with Queen. Oh man. No, but it was a really, really superb opener, and I'm really excited to see how things do develop, especially with Bloodwork. We got the origins there of him turning into Bloodwork, but we also got his motivation, and we also got a bit of insight with him and Caitlin. So yeah, it was a really, really solid opener last week. So yeah, with that said, let's check out The Flash, episode number 2 for season 6. Let's go.
If I vanish, and whatever crisis is coming, maybe I was still out there somewhere, looking for a way to come back to you. According to the Monitor,
Wow.
that doesn't happen.
Insult to injury, isn't it? Vanish means...
To save the lives of billions, the Flash must die. What kind of crap is that? No, I'm serious.
Iris
I mean,
is
the
not
Monitor
having it.
shows up.
So I'm gonna go see this crisis for myself.
Look, he's gonna drain the blood, isn't he? He's...
30 seconds.
Is that the photographer's afraid to get a shot in focus?
Those are actually mine.
They're not all winners.
Ooh! That was cold.
Look, I can take a note.
2019. December 1st, 2019. Disruption barrier detected.
Oh, shh. No way, Jose. Ouch!
I was going to tell you made the right call.
Jay, is that
For the
you?
past year, I've been detecting antimatter signatures across the multiverse. Now, we don't know their origin, but if my algorithm is correct,
Ooh.
all Earths could be in danger.
Then we had her walk.
Not just anyone. It's got to be a speedster. In his prime. You in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Then let's hustle. I've already had
Of
to
course,
postpone my dinner
that
plans.
disqualifies
Not any
you,
further,
doesn't
I
it?
hope.
Whoa! No!
I'd like you to meet my wife,
Of
Dr.
course!
Joan Williams.
It is.
Uh-oh. I always come prepared.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
This does not look
Allegra?
good for her.
You're not going anywhere, okay? We just want to talk for a second.
god! Woo!
But I needed a neurological specialist to help with my depleting speed, and something just felt right between us.
I wonder what that could be.
All right, come on.
Let's do it.
Wonder what your child would look like.
Jay's helmet will help channel the tachyons into your frontal cortex and ignite your synaptic pathways.
Gets to wear Jay's helmet. Awesome! Shit. Holy shit, is this Christ? Oh, Lord! Holy shit!
Biometrics are crashing.
I'm also picking up temporal energy readings.
Coming crisis. The Flash must die.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! That was his death.
So you're feeling 10 times the amount of pain a non-speedster would.
Oh.
You'll feel better in a day or two.
Okay. What'd you see in there, kid?
I saw billions of possible futures.
How many did we win?
Billions.
He got a sunburn.
Yeah, from hell. Look at his face. Most UV light gets absorbed by the ozone layer. This was entirely undiluted. If it wasn't for his powers, that sunburn would have killed him.
So put some aloe on it.
Ooh!
Can I just talk to Caitlin for a minute, please?
No.
Look
I've
like
got
ghetto.
things to do.
Inexplicable reason, and now there's another murder.
But my powers are telling
Two
me.
people are dead, Cecile.
You know
Yeah, but they-
this kid. You know
they
how
can't
it's petty crimes.
Say, oh, well, that's an
robberies.
excuse.
Double
So-
homicide? That doesn't even add up.
I haven't known this woman in a long time, and the evidence adds up. We need to recognize that, unlike facts, feelings can be fallible.
Exactly.
Except when it's your gut.
That same way when we first met.
I'm sorry. You look just like Barry's mother.
Oh.
Well, cat out the bag, Iris.
Well, Barry's physical pain will go away, but the mental aspect, some of that won't, not for a while.
Oh, well,
I
same
know you keep
crisis.
an eye on him.
Thank you.
I can't help but feeling like it means I'm giving up.
Giving up.
It's not.
When
It
I was a
honestly
beat cop,
isn't.
you know, I walked the same patrol every day. One morning, I'm responding to a note to get back out there. And we don't make the choice to die. We would never choose to do that. But when we hear the call of duty, we're willing to make that sacrifice. And
Exactly.
that's not giving up, Bear. That's what you call resilience. And
You're
I know
doing
you'd have
something
plenty of that.
incredibly heroic.
Paint or dance, do it. But you gotta understand that
It
other
takes
people
time.
are trying to do it too.
I feel like a Yakuza baddie is stabbing me in the stomach. Repeatedly.
Wow. Wow.
Is
That's
this
very
how I
specific.
made everyone feel at Camilla's show?
Yep. That's a feeling we like to call guilt. It's a little stabby. But
Yeah.
Talk about bad influences. I wanted out of her gang, so she jumped me.
Ah. Your cousin's a bitch. She got caught up.
Out of custody and into the hands of a very redacted organization.
Esperanza's alive. Cecile, did you hear that?
Here we go. Oh,
That's not me.
she shared the same power. Oh, damn.
Gotta get you out of here. Come on, come on.
Damn, she's kicking ass. Like, don't encourage the bad guys, but Melina ripoff is, like, killing it. I think that's the person from Mortal Kombat.
Get out of my precinct!
Go on, Joe.
I'm only ultraviolet now. No! I won't let you do this. Then you
Literally, or is that your new name? Because Cisco could do with a bit of work. Ooh.
It's not giving up, Barry. That's what we call resilience. And I know you
Just
have
love
plenty
Joe.
of
That's better.
Oh, he's going. Oh my God, Barry, no! I mean, that's gonna sting in the morning, but holy shit, that is.
Cecile, call the medic.
That was incredible, Barry.
Well, there's no accounting for taste.
You know, my mom dated an artist once. He was a trapeze artist, though. No net Nick, they call him. They said it.
Fighting for these people. That realization. Oh my God, Barry's gonna kill me.
and 3 bedtime.
The justice system doesn't always work for metas. Which is why I want
It's
to
true.
become a defense attorney for metahumans. I know
Which is
you
why
can tell
she
me that I'm
was-
crazy and we were not on the same
Yeah.
page about Allegra today.
No, that's not crazy.
Her
That's
motive.
incredible.
Really?
Babe, do you know how many people...
Circumstances, but I hope we will see you guys again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Till next time,
I mean, that
Flash.
would be the awkward double date, wouldn't it?
It was a pleasure to meet you, Barry Allen.
Ooh.
You keep being the hero we know you are.
I'm not choosing to die. I can never make the choice to leave you.
Oh.
If my death is the only way to save the universe, to save you,
He's gonna step up to the Call of Duty.
I'm willing to do that.
Absorbed into victims' veins prior to death.
I don't like it. And I don't like that! Zombie! No, 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 no! That's not good for him. Oi. So that was great. I wouldn't say it was as awesome as last week's episode. Although it had some really, really... Yeah, I swear, Arrow and the Flash are trying to kill me this week with what they have showcased. And yeah, there was some really, really great moments in this episode, especially as Barry now tries to prepare for what is to come with Crisis. Now that he's gotten that message, the Flash must die. Which I'm still adamant that it's still gonna be him. Like, yes, the wording could imply, oh, it's going to be still Barry Allen, but the Earth Knight is Barry Allen. I've seen a few of those comments, actually. But no, I think it should be... I think if they are going to do this in a satisfying way, Barry is still going to be the one that disappears, but he's going to somehow find his way back. So I do hope we see what we saw in this episode with Barry vanishing in the potential cliffhanger for Crisis on Infinite Earths, because, yeah, oh my God, we actually got to see Barry disappear like he did in the comics. We actually got to see that comic come to life. I was in a state of panic when I was in a state of shock and panic when we saw that vision of the potential future. Yeah. And it's and I do suspect they might utilize that, because the Flash has done this kind of trick before with Iris, haven't they, with season 3. We still saw Iris get stabbed by Stavatar, even though it was HR, but we still saw that vision that was played out in episode 9 of season 3. For the penultimate episode. Of course, it was a bit different, but that's what I'm talking about. We can still see that vision. Just because we saw it in this episode doesn't mean, okay, well, that might have more leniency to someone else taking the Flash's mantle. Especially with the speech made, like that sacrifice talk. But I still think it's still going to happen. Barry's going to vanish, but but this is the thing. Barry has seen himself die. He hasn't seen him, that's it. He's just seen himself die. Whereas in the comics, he does appear to have died, but he's in the Speed Force, so he can't account for that because he's just seen himself die. So that's why I'm thinking they're still going to utilize Barry disappearing in that crisis. But of course, the difference is that he doesn't die. He just disappears into the Speed Force. So it's kind of like the whole Savitar situation. Yes, Iris dies, but wait, Iris is actually HR. So yeah, it's that little twist, isn't it? That's where I see it going. And I'm not gonna lie, I will be low-key disappointed as they do the whole switcheroo where 90s Barry turns out to replace Barry and the one disappearing from the crisis, because he doesn't even die. He just disappears into the Speed Force. He just appears to have died. So yeah, but it's still very traumatic to see, isn't it? So yeah, no, it was very traumatic to see, and I got caught up so much in the crisis hype with the antimatter consuming everyone that I didn't take account into Cisco donning the Vibe costume again. So it seems like he's going to become Vibe at some point. There is also something that I do want to talk about, and if you haven't seen Arrow, the first episode of season 8, then please skip ahead a few minutes now because this is going to contain some spoilers. So yeah, but I'll give you that chance. Okay, so I'm assuming the people who haven't seen Arrow have skipped ahead or don't care for spoilers, but there is something that I wanted to talk about, or wanted a screenshot of, whilst the episode was going on, because I always love looking at details that you might not catch the first time around, but you can analyze the second time. And I'm talking about Jay's map of the multiverse when he was monitoring, pun not intended, the antimatter signature that was sweeping through the multiverse. So I'm going to put up a screenshot that I took after the episode. And yeah, there's some very interesting bits that's come upon. First thing is that one of the Earths seemed to have bitten the dust with that black X. So yeah. And then we see a red arrow that's pointing towards Earth 2. Now, at the end of Arrow episode 1 of season 8, Earth 2 got annihilated by the Anti-Monitor's antimatter energy. So I'm assuming, yeah, this would take place before Oliver reached Earth 2, as he's still monitoring that. So yeah. There's also a few interesting bits, like there's some unknown Earths. And I'm not so sure if that by the looks of it, with the huge reds, with the small red circles with the X's, they are Earths that have been caught up in. I'm not so sure, just with the big black X, and the smaller red circles with crosses. I'm assuming they are planets consumed by the Anti-Monitor because he's been active for a year. That's why the Monitor has came around. So yeah, but there's some very, very interesting bits to take up on Jay's map. So yeah, as well as he's neatly associated which Earth belongs to which. So yeah. I'm not so... Yeah, I'm sure that's Superman and Supergirl for Earth 38. Just Superman is written with Earth 3 as well. So yeah, but hey, who knows? He might have a Superman on his Earth. You never know. I'm sure there is, but yeah, there's some very, very interesting bits. I'm trying to have a look. There's a blurred out bit to the left where I think Earth 19. I'm not sure. I don't think so. It's like lottery. It's like bingo, should I say? So yeah. But yeah, you get to see Earth's 898, Earth 494. There's some there's some very, very interesting bits to take up upon that map. But yeah. I just wanted to analyze that because, like I said, I'm a sucker for stuff like that. Something you will not see, you will not get chance to breathe in every bit of detail the first time around, maybe. And I always like to, and I want to talk about that further. So yeah. But yeah, it was a good episode though. We had a neat plot with Cecile as she tried to prove the innocence of Allegra. Was it called? Was she called? Yeah. Which was proven because her cousin showed up, and yeah, she was the real culprit to these murders, especially with a tattoo because they belonged to the same clan. But yeah, and it tied well with Barry's plot in spectacular fashion when he was just channeling through the ultraviolet ray that her cousin issued out to Barry. It was really, really heroic. I really just loved him powering through. It was really spectacular stuff. I really loved the conflict between Cecile and Joe as well, like with Cecile's job not giving her permission to do what she was trying to do, and eventually it turned from her ditching the DA to being a defense attorney. So that will go down very, very well with Cecile. But yeah, there was some great conflict between her and Joe. But yeah, Joe's words as well was really, really great stuff when he was talking to Barry about sacrifice and how that is not an act of cowardice, it's resilience. And that's true. I really loved, I think it was one of the best speeches that he's ever done, to be fair. Like um from him talking about the emblems representing who we are, to how sacrifice isn't a choice. It's a way for us to determine we are saving these people for a heroic cause, and that's the thing. Like, it's never about giving up. It's never about cowering away, and it's one of the biggest one of the biggest movies, one of the biggest moves a hero can pull. So I really, really loved how Joe did inspire Barry so much to not just think deeply about crisis and the potential consequences that it might have on Barry's life, but also how that helped out in his battle against Allegra's cousin. So yeah. And now they're gonna have to prepare the team, which um I'm hoping, I don't know if Wally is gonna come back, but they talk about for a world without the Flash. Well, surely Wally would take up the mantle. And I know the actor is not like a recurring character anymore. I think there was a bit of drama going on between the actor and how he was used. So surely, because I know there's two versions of Wally, so I think this would be the perfect. Well, it would be a bit rushed, like I said, but um, see, this is where we could utilize either the Wally we know and love, or a new incarnation of Wally, which would be the one with the ginger head, the one that would replace Barry after Crisis on Infinite Earths. So yeah, but they won't go that route. So yeah, and the other case in terms of preparation, I'm assuming for if Barry does perish, is going back to Iris's wishes about Nora and how she was hurt by the chance about losing Nora, but she gets that opportunity again. So Iris's wishes of being a mother to Nora might still come into fruition. I'm gonna use my sister's Kay's words, because I talked to her right after the episode. I was like, "Oh, crisis, all of that," but she said, I think Barry is going to get his game up and put two tornadoes in Iris, obviously referring to the Tornado Twins. She said that to me, and I was dying from that wording. So shout out to my sister Kay for doing that. Anyways, yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. So most likely over getting a replacement for the Flash over getting Wally back, or having a new incarnation of Wally, because that is what I would ideally have, considering that Wally does take Barry's mantle after he disappears during the crisis. So yeah, but yeah, it was really great as well to see Jay return. Of course, he gets with a doppelganger of Nora, so yeah. But it was great to see Jay helping out Barry after he couldn't go to December 11th. So he went to Jay, and how he helped him out with that case. For once, he's actually approving of his time travel, which was funny because I was just thinking he's going to be thinking, oh, the coffee cup, Barry. What did we talk about? So yeah, but he was glad because of this whole crisis situation. I also liked the cute plot that we had with Killer Frost with her first day living as well, and she couldn't express herself artistically, so I really loved how, like, I really liked that there was a bit of humanity there for her, where she was, I think she was definitely inspired by people's talents, but she was hurt that she couldn't produce the same amount of talent that they had, so she needed that bit of pep talk. But yeah, I thought it was a very interesting episode, and like I said, Crisis. Yeah, they literally, like, the CW with Arrow and the Flash are literally trying to kill me with these episodes this week, but I'm absolutely ready for I'm not ready for Crisis. But yeah, it was just a fantastic episode. I really loved the fact that we had Barry mulling over Crisis and absolutely worried. Yeah, it was just really, really good stuff, this episode. So yeah, and I'm really interested is also before I do cut off from this and begin editing the reactions to Arrow and the Flash, I'm interested in finding out about that assassination group that Allegra's cousin was tied to. I'm sure that will come about in the second part of the Flash after Crisis. Because we've only got like a handful of episodes before we do reach Crisis, and we've got to conclude Bloodwork's story, who had a bit of nice focus in this episode. So I'm sure with a bunch more episodes in the second part, with like 12 episodes, we'll be putting some emphasis towards the group that Allegra's cousin was tied to. But yeah, that was a solid episode. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. You can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my Media Feeds channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I will see you guys next time. Toodles!